7 a.m. Kirill Petrov, the man of the house. The first thing that he does every morning is to heat the house with a wood-burning stove to keep his family warm on the ice-cold morning in Yakutia. Because of the severe climate, Kirill needs a lot of wood to heat the house for 9 months non-stop. Just like a dessert, drinking water in Yakut village is precious. There are no water treatment facilities because the pipes freeze during the long winter. So ice is the main source of water. Kirill and the villagers harvested the ice from the river in the middle of November, when the temperature was favorable to harvest the ice. Meanwhile, Kirill's wife Lyubov is making delicious and traditional breakfast, gyurchakh, whipped cream with a strawberry jam which was harvested during the summer. In Yakutia, due to the harsh climate, it's almost impossible to grow fruits and vegetables, so most of the Yakut desserts consist of dairy food. It's 7:40 a.m. and it's time for Arian, the youngest son, to wake up.
Arian! Dur da hepten bolla.
Arian is 9 years old and attends the local primary school. The children in Yakutia will go to school when it's warmer than minus 54 degrees. But when the temperature drops below minus 55 degrees, it's too dangerous to go to school. Today is relatively warm in Yakutia, only minus 40 degrees, which means Arian must go to school. Like most people around the world, he washed his face and brushed his teeth. Arian uses the ice-cold water that his dad prepared earlier. Breakfast. Fatty pancakes and whipped cream are high-energy food that warms you up during cold winters. Arian's older sisters are living and studying in university far away from the village. His parents wish for him to study well so he can live his life as he wants.
Min oğlum haga heriger olur ki bığıtından bardan hatık taqud iten taharabın qasbi dil beten oğlurun atem bir beten kurduk ütüyecan gınan itiyaqtaq ülene bölür ülene taptır çehney ütüyanalaq jombolaqtaqtar.
In Yakutia, locals understand the importance of learning the right clothing to survive in such extreme winters. It's an absolute must to wear several layers of clothing and wear insulated pants, because the knees are particularly prone to freezing. Arian's mom always makes sure that Arian wears enough clothes, because without proper dressing, the cold will reach deep inside your bones, threatening your life. She also makes sure that his face is fully covered, otherwise the exposed part can get frostbite.
Ondan tımnı vayıga olur bütün öğretmenlere ıtarbıt bilen durur kutallak bulladı. Boğav tibittu, tibetaktu. Olihin bollana qasbiddi töröpütün bir oğdu var. Tımnıga ıtargar kuttanar.
The temperature outside is so cold, so the moisture immediately forms little icicles on his eyelashes. 10 minutes in the fresh air can be enough to cause fatigue, stinging pain in the face, and long-lasting aches in the fingers and toes. But little hardy Yakuts knows how to fight the cold. But after a few minutes, the icy weather begins to assert itself forcefully. Arian has been on his way for 10 minutes already, and now the 9-year-old Arian is freezing. Luckily, the last few meters are left and Arian is finally at school. Arian arrives in time, and there are already many children who have also arrived by foot. Arian is studying in the 3rd grade of primary school. The primary school lasts 4 years, and in Yakutia, education lasts 11 years before going to university. There are about 8 students in the class today, and 5 hours of daily studying begins. Today they have math, literature, art, geography, history, and languages. Yakut people study 3 languages at school: Russian, English, and Saha. Saha is the mother tongue, which belongs to the Turkic group and is totally different from the Russian language. For daily life, studying and working, knowing the Russian language is essential. After the first 2 lessons, it's time for a second breakfast. Today's menu is apple and eggs. Eating regularly is essential to increase energy in the cold winters for little Yakut. After breakfast, they play indoors. The temperature is too cold to play outside, and after all, it takes too long to dress up again.
Мен осколага сылдырбын хөбөлүйүн. Хама хөбөлүү предметим физкультура. Того детер мен онно эрчилебит, байынергерчилебит, хүребит, онюбут.
Usually the classes end at 2 p.m., but today Arian finished a little earlier. Now he's on his way back home with his friend, and like kids all around the world, they can't ignore the local snack shop. Everyone likes ice cream, and Arian and his friends are no exception. They love sweet and creamy frozen ice cream, despite the extreme cold. Arian and his friends on their way home are playing little games and having fun. Parents are not worried about their children. It's a close-knit community. All the locals know each other, and there are about 800 people in the whole village. Almost all the houses are made of wood. Each resident burns more than 60 cubic meters on average every winter. For the house to keep warm and to protect the house from the freezing air, they make sure to fill every gap with oakum or snow, but still, the cold finds a way to come through. Wild Yakutian horses are also neighbors in this icy land. They have thick skin and heavy hairy coats and are able to effectively forage in the snow for vegetation to eat. The Yakutian horses can cope with temperatures down to minus 70 degrees. Arian is back home and ready to help his father. Most men in the village are engaged in the cattle breeding, hunting, or crafts, same as Arian's father.
Мен хеттис каластан быхата эме бу уханагдан жарыктанабын. Эме мигин кыраддак мене Александр Ильич Уаров тен учут алып. тутаныланы та мүвереттага де такаян бу кие кара болу хаджабын. Бәйен билигин бу тимиринен жарыктанабын. Үлүһүйән туран. Быһак, комуус, оңоробут. Тем бир казби дерки тугар хатыктах, кытчабыта быһак, кытчабыта те ихит комуус.
Kirill Petrov is well-known craftsman in Yakutia. Kirill makes traditional Yakut knives. For many centuries, knives have played an important role in the lives and the culture of Yakut people. Yakut knives are well known around the world for their strength and beauty. Arian's father is teaching him these traditional crafts that has been passed through the generations. The blade is traditionally forged from the locally sourced iron ore. The knife handle is made from birch wood, which is extremely strong.
Мен ағам курдук уус болом.
Another of Arian's daily duties is to chop the firewood. Arian knows from early age that daily work is necessary to survive in such extreme cold. Now it's time for lunch and Arian is always here to help his mom. They are preparing a Crucian carp fish which his dad caught in the river. People love eating fish and meat in a frozen, boiled or fried state.
Онтон тие билген үһүөнерэ хаалан бараммыт, ол бутун оттон өрө тутан кини же хаамай били илиби татакпы пола хиджер. Маскайта ачыбыт, кар күлдө ачыбыт, меха мекөмөлөһөр, балыгыр астырын, эгин хүддан хүгүлүр. Онноор мегин астастыыкка денде мегин манны ыккайын туран иккен бирге асастыыбыт.
After the work is done, Arian rushes to the toilet outside. In Yakutia, there are no indoor toilets because the pipes freeze easily. Everything happens outside is done very efficiently, and no one spends more time than necessary out in the cold. This fish is Arian's favorite. It's so tasty and the most delicious fat and nutritious part is the fish raw eggs.
Balığın birini her. Ben gelip kunnya hiri.
Yakan da vardı pajok. Bakın ki hangi baran değil. Bu tıyıstımlı doyduga haka hirger. Hem bir tuğra hata takkana tuğra bultan. Tuğra bulmakana ra havra ahır kudukun.
Fishing and hunting are important sources of food in Yakutia. From early spring until the autumn cold, the Yakuts are eating fish. Arian loves fishing with his father. At the beginning of March, it's the perfect time for kuyur, which is traditional ice fishing. Using their rods and nets, they start fishing. Arian loves spending time with his father in nature. They are fishing, hunting, and working hard to survive in this extremely cold but beautiful land, Yakutia. After a few hours, finally, Arian has caught the fish. You don't need to worry about bonking the fish because in just a few seconds it's shock frozen. Life in Yakutia can be difficult, unpleasant and dangerous, but we have learned how to live in harmony with Mother Nature and we appreciate the nature, treasures and gifts that surround us. We can always find a beauty even in this extremely cold climate. After all, there is no such thing as a bad weather. There is just weather and your attitude towards it. Sunday, 10 a.m. in the coldest village on earth, and 9-year-old Arian is still sleeping. But he must get up. Arian has no time for rest. Weekends are the busiest days in Yakutia. Nature calls. Arian rushes to the toilet outside. After 7 months of the dark and cold winter, finally, spring is here. The seasonal temperature drop in Yakutia can reach 100 degrees, from -70 to +30 degrees in the summer. Even though it's only 3 degrees out today, Arian feels that the summer it has already arrived. Arian's mom Lyubov has already prepared a simple breakfast: Yakutian pancakes, cheese, cookies, and buckwheat, Arian's favorite. After breakfast, Arian and his father are now feeding their dogs with raw meat. Sunday is the day for showering, and the first of Arian's duties is to chop the wood for their family's bathhouse. They don't have running water showers, so instead they use a bathhouse with a heating stove and a steam room for showering. Arian is the youngest son in the family. He has 2 older sisters, but they are studying in university far away from the village. So now he is the only one who is helping his parents. Look how much wood they need just for one shower. It takes them about 5 hours to heat a bathhouse. That's why they only able to shower once a week. After the fire is on and the door is closed, it's time to find water for a shower. For showering, locals buy lake water from the waterman Grigory. As he drives around the village, Arian and his family hang up a red flag as a signal to order water. Grigory sells lake water that he collected from the lake nearby. Locals use it for their daily necessities, but it's not safe for drinking. Arian pays Grigory about $5 for 3 barrels of water.
Otomanda jigina karbıtın da ulukutun höbetereri bu oyurdaq ma bolan debbi hiyemegen tühenke köyen tuttu var. Olayım bolan mandık kınamat örübül ayı ulukutlara var hem bir. Bañıktanabıt, taňa suýabyt onu mandyk.
Meanwhile, Arian and his father Kirill are arranging the ice they harvested in November from the river nearby. Digging wells is too expensive in this part of the world due to a thick layer of hard permafrost. Besides, pipes freeze during the long winter, making ice the cleanest available drinking source.
Bihiganı hayın ihruutun qahanabut mandıkanamut Arian ola bu karadağattan ho hajawut manna mejje üretebit taqa kiita imbitga kiita uutun qaçınıqtaq mahan qaçınıqtaq edetün.
Another Sunday duty is to shovel the snow in the yard. It's important to shovel the snow away in Yakutia before it starts to thaw. The ground is solid ice all year round, and all the snow melting can cause big puddles in spring.
Başlamayı bakın.
Arian dutifully pulls the sled, which weighs about the same as him, happy to help his father.
Kıhmudu hunebe pon qarbet her. Onda gayatan hask badaranı kıçıtarı bu kahvajat.
After the work is done, Arian is finally having a little break. From early spring until the autumn cold, Arian and his father spend most of their time in nature, fishing and hunting, which makes a large portion of their food.
Kuz hangatın içiktebin. Men ığmayın ketehebin. Andılaqqa kustu var bıtın.
Arian,
Ha?
yuta karin.
Biten?
Hala kır babatın da kadar.
Bugün baraya mı ha?
Now, Arian is heading to his grandparents' house, Isabella and Radomir, who you might have seen in our previous video. Arian and his family has been living in this village for many generations. It's a small, remote village in the southwest of Yakutia. There is no crime, no police station, all locals know each other, so parents are not worried about their children. Arian's grandparents are engaged in cattle and horse breeding like many locals in this village. Tending animals in this severe climate requires hard work, so Arian often comes over to help. Since ancient times, horses were key for communication and keeping people in contact within Yakutia's territory, which is 6 times larger than France. Arians love spending time with horses. Before he leaves, he gives them one of their favorite treats, sugar cubes.
Hoch, Mika, hoch. Hoch, hoch, hoch.
While Arian was helping his grandma, Isabella prepares a treat for him and his parents, a few bottles of fresh, homemade sour cream.
Division bitarian beton naman ulelian badani kelen kömölühän barar kahanemit ubahalara hatar hılgılara hatar qarbetin kelen kujjan birer kelena barır kömölühän.
Arian loves skiing during his free time, and in just a few days, he has a school biathlon competition which his parents are helping him to prepare for. Kirill and Lyubov are supporting Arian in everything. Every weekend they go skiing on the frozen river nearby.
Bilemen karam da. Aha, tutun ya alan hürdün gelin. Cam min gördük de şey. Ağları. Cam. Gör bu aska bu man bacana ka birbirine ayı turgete yakin. Cam tutar. Bilin tutar. Utigen anda tabak naz bağlan kalem barangın. Utan koruk nadan tun.
The weather is warming up for the spring. Yakuts are spending as much time as possible outside in the sun. Arian's family loves cooking outside during spring and summer times. Every Sunday, they have their own little tradition of cooking in a large cooking pot. Today, Lyubov is cooking beef with vegetables. Yakutian cuisine generally relies on meat, fish, and dairy products. Since the ground is frozen solid, it's impossible to grow fruits and vegetables all year round. Therefore, Lyubov is using frozen carrots that were ground during the short summer in Yakutia.
Onda olsana tu bir tığaga olaranyan manmanın şuay dakılladı. Kaham bağırdın tane beğen talge hagar takangı. Anlık astanağın. Örevül kurdu boba da hınyalan kurdu pobak kaca bile. Ülen kenditten kassa hoğ barna oluq. Uspeyde xınadı jeb kurduktan suunan bañıktanan. Tahar jahan ol bıhırıtı. Oğa butun yetçiyen jeb kurduk.
While Lyubov is preparing lunch, Arian and his dad are busy making vargan, which is known in Yakutia as a hummus. Arian is inspired to be like his father Kirill Petrov, who is a well-known craftsman in Yakutia. Yakutian vargans are made of metal and rely on a rigid metal frame and a small metal reed which players flick to create vibrations. Firstly, they make a perfect hole in the metal form that Kirill had prepared earlier. After it has a perfect frame, they start making the reed, which must be elastic in order to produce a good sound. Then, they make a slot for the reed using a saw. It's necessary to try fitting the reed regularly as it must be directly between the arms of the frame. The vargan has been used for centuries in Yakutia in shamanistic rituals to induce trances and heal sickness. Moreover, almost all cultural events in Yakutia start with charming hummus sound.
Tağı bihi bilgin turugunan haka komu andıydıga amay bastık niyen eteller. Haka komu hem tir, haka komu harangatçılır, haka komu artçılır. Komus bolgana katalanmatı astaq. Hem bir uğratı kine andıydı hoğutak bolur. Qaddaqtan en oğur ikkis komus hatan ki hatan ücükten oğur bat. La jadi. Tamamen kadar aja. Hatan da. Üre. İşte. Tıkın diyak da evet hadi. Bize mamını yine kaldır.
Finally, after 5 hours, the bathhouse is heated to the right temperature and Arian is ready to shower. First, Arian goes to the steam room where temperatures reach up to 70 degrees. Because the temperature is so high in the steam room, Arian comes back out very quickly. After leaving the steam room, he starts washing himself with the lake water that he bought from the waterman Grigory. Meanwhile, Arian's mom Lyubov has already prepared lunch. The air is filled with rich smells of Lyubov's cooking, the smell of delicious juicy beef. Arian and his father just can't wait to have some delicious food. The whole family gathers together to finally have a little bit of rest and enjoy their food after a long days of work.
Марын эжиң эри хәҗүк тарба. Эжиң. Биле улут YouTube-ың бар битта. Онтон 14 миллион просмотр болуп тери.
14-та.
Кара. Таблим аны.
Allah hoydağda. Dedin de.
Bastan kaskana kadar bu kaçta bu kusteyle de roket kanu barıp hey berket
Bukya hangata.
Every summer, like the roses, childhood returns, full of warm memories, but gone too soon. In Yakutia, summer lasts only 3 months, so every day Arian and his family are getting the most out of the long-awaited hot summer days. Arian's older sisters are finally back home for summer holidays, and now the whole family reunite to enjoy the beautiful summer days full of simple outdoor pleasures. However, the summer in Yakutia is not only for relaxing, but it's also the busiest time of the year. Starting from the end of July, Arian and his family are harvesting all kinds of wild berries to eat throughout the 9 months winter.
Şöyle.
Mini hidim tollu. Ayını tolbata da, pakayda.
Another very important task of summer is hay harvesting. It's an essential part of every Yakut, and it has become a part of Yakutian culture. Since ancient times, Yakut people were engaged in cattle and horse breeding, which helped them survive the severe climate. So every summer, Arian and his family work hard to harvest all the hay they will need to feed their cattle for the winter months.
Oturbun önürü kabiliyün. Tojeter. Bihi kamile hebit. Minubay bar kamile hebit. Kena nakter kıstılır gurdukana. Bir nakka elbek ot. Barınar.
Despite the 38 degrees heat, mosquitoes, and heavy physical work, hay harvesting is about families coming together to help each other. It teaches us to be fully engaged and present in the moment, away from machine and worries. And I miss it so much. After the long and heavy work under the burning sun, Arian and his family excited to jump into the nearest lake to enjoy cooling water. During the summer, Yakutia turns from a snowy kingdom into lush meadows full of dense forest and peaceful lakes where the still waters reflect the beauty around it. Yakutia is also often called the land of rivers and lakes. There are over 700,000 big and small rivers and 800 lakes that are rich with the most tasty and fresh fish. Arian loves spending time with his family in nature. From an early age, Arian and his father spent most of their time in nature, fishing and hunting, which makes a large portion of their food.
Tabu bihiga unan hajan hama hebuli jarak tu bubar hayan. Spinyin tamnaman na hımnya na vıt, arancıya vıt. Bayana beristagana balık yetçivit. Bu azart bulur bulu kaptagana adrenalin buharınlar. Ama işe tuğ jarak ba. Os kuyağın, tak kuyduğun. Onu manırın alan körağın. Has.
Despite the fact that the 9-year-old Arian is an avid fisherman, today he has no luck. But he doesn't give up because he wants to be like his father.
Tarıtta bildi.
Yere bir mesle var bana.
After a long day, now it's time for dinner. While everyone is busy with their chores, Arian with his deft little hands masterfully is cleaning fish.
Oh, Coldest. But alır kuda kokunat.
Arian loves cooking, and fish is Arian's favorite food. Today is going to be fresh perch soup with vegetables and herbs that has been caught in the river.
Show
Now Arian and his family are having their delicious dinner and enjoying every single moment of their life. And there is nothing like eating fresh Yakutian fish by the river with your family. Sometimes we can make life overcomplicated, but it's important to remember the value in the simple things, the beauty of nature, the love of our family, and quiet, peaceful summer nights.
Narin ni konyok tayo. Itnya Allah Bağattan buyurantılarına yakanığım Kanada bollar bınılığım Mintin aktılar bine yakanığım Kanada bollar bınılığım Mintin aktılar bine yakanığım Nılığıre bari sürüple hüreği Doyum doyup bari dolamam kanunu Kaskayani kalıntı oyuru Kanıca çok emer sürüklenemin Kanada bollar bınılığım Mintin akıllar bine yakayanığım Kanada bollar
It's 9 a.m. Arian and his family are getting ready to go traditional ice fishing, known as munha. This year, the ice fishing fell at the beginning of November, just before the start of the long, severely cold winter in Yakutia. Although it's only minus 15 degrees Celsius, Arian and his family will spend the whole day outside, so they must make sure to keep warm. Today is a big day in the village. It's a day when locals are hoping to catch several tons of carp to stock up for the upcoming winter. Before the munha fishing can begin, the leader and most experienced fisherman performs the ritual of feeding and appeasing the spirits of the forest, animals, and hunters. In order to survive in the cold, icy winters, Yakuts needs to work closely together to gather food, and this is how munha was formed. Munha is a traditional and innovative form of ice fishing that has been passed down from father to son for thousands of years in Yakutia. Locals get into teams of up to 10 people, and they each have different jobs. One of the strongest men prepared 2 large holes in the ice in which to place the net. A series of small holes are then made between the 2 big ones to allow the net to be pulled from one end to the other using sticks with hooks. As a result, the net runs along almost the entire perimeter of the lake, guaranteeing the biggest catch. The main rule of munha is that no one should stand without work, even if it's a child or woman. Munha itself has turned into a mass festival and celebration. Everyone is excited and enjoying the last warm day outside. The boys are wrestling, called hapsagai, the national sport of Yakutia and a big part of the culture. In Yakutia, every boy wants to become a strong wrestler. Now it's time to eat. Today's menu is nutritious soup with fresh meat and potato. Eating regularly is essential to increase energy in the cold winters for hardy Yakuts. But there is a rule. People who have been to a funeral within 40 days and pregnant women are not allowed to go ice fishing. The locals explain that the nature can feel their tense energy and so does not share its gifts. Now Arian's father Kirill is preparing wooden sticks for Arian and his wife Lyubov to use in the water. Fishing under the ice demands a lot of effort and coordinated teamwork. At the head of a large team, there are Muncha masters who know the terrain well and indicate the best places to cut holes. Here, the youngest fishermen use their long sticks in the water to make the fish move towards the net.
Munka hajarutan tuyaran katan turaman. Marilar yara kadda mardamlarga. Ona munkadian bu ütü üge targati. Ejde hü ile yürü kötü ayılga hicci. Jalla nubalar bu hunkenin nanan.
Muncha fishing needs responsibility and careful planning, and it's extremely important for villagers. When the time comes to pull out the net, it feels like time has stopped. Everyone holds their breath in anticipation. Luckily, this year has been great for fishing. This is a perfect time of year to fish muncha. The carp has already gained some fat and becomes especially valuable and tasty. Traditionally, ice fishing begins in early November in Yakutia, when the lakes are covered with a fairly strong layer of ice. But due to the rising temperature in Siberia, the ice this year is not strong enough to hold dozens of people, and it's quite dangerous. The best part of the muncha fishing is sharing the fish. It's equally divided between all the participants and also with neighbors who did not take part in the fishing. In order to protect the lake and keep balance in the ecosystem, they will not fish in the same lake for 3 years. After a long day, tired but happy, Arian and his family are ready to return home.
Hadi hava patladan bir. Çuh. Anhaltız.
Babaları git.
Ya da onu alırsın gidelim. Gost. Gost. Gost değil.
Gost.
Gost.
Terkata mı?
Atau tak apa kolor.
Mukhang mawar din.
Oh, sebentar.
Di kere bu patı diyor.
Ano pa ta?
As you already know, Arian loves fried Christian carp, which is lovingly prepared by his mom, Любовь. The life in the coldest inhabited place on earth can be tough, but as you can see, it's filled with love, light, and joy.